Most couples don't overspend because they're careless. They overspend because their money lands in the wrong place on the wrong day. Today, we'll build a paycheck automation architecture for two people that fixes that with clear accounts, precise payday splits, and due dates parked 2 to 3 days after cash arrives. First, here's the plan for this episode. We'll lay out the accounts map, bills, spending, and goals. Set exact percentage splits for equal incomes and for when one partner earns about 70%. Align due dates after payday, and finish with a simple transfer schedule that runs on autopilot. A paycheck automation architecture is a set of accounts and automatic transfers that move money to the right job the moment you get paid. Because automation removes memory and mood from money, it reduces friction and prevents the month from drifting. Use a hybrid setup by default so shared life is funded and personal choices stay personal. That means one shared bills account, one shared goals account, and two personal spending accounts, one for partner A and one for partner B. The shared bills account pays rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries if you buy them together, insurance, transport costs you both use, and subscriptions you both agree on. The shared goals account holds transfers to your emergency fund, debt overpayments, and mid- or long-term goals you've named. Personal spending accounts cover individual wants and small needs without a debate. This guardrail protects privacy, while the shared accounts protect the household. Now the payday split rule you can apply today. On each payday, your direct deposits are divided automatically into 3 destinations: a chunk to shared bills, a chunk to shared goals, and the remainder to the personal spending account of the earner. Because examples make it real, let's use one monthly take-home number for the household, then show 2 split patterns. Assume combined after-tax income of $6,000 in your currency, paid twice per month in equal halves. If incomes are roughly equal, fund shared life equally. Set the monthly targets at 50% to shared bills, 15% to shared goals, and 35% to personal spending in total. With those targets, each partner sends 25% of combined take-home to the shared bills account, 7.5% to the shared goals account, and keeps 17.5% for personal spending. Translated to money, that's $1,500 to bills, $450 to goals, and $1,050 to each person's personal account per month. If one partner earns about 70% of the income, use proportional contributions so the load matches capacity. Partner A contributes 70% of the shared targets, and partner B contributes 30%. Under the same household targets, 50% bills and 15% goals, partner A sends $2,100 to bills and $630 to goals, while partner B sends $900 to bills and $270 to goals. Personal spending becomes what's left: $1,470 for partner A and $630 for partner B, which avoids strain while keeping both people resourced. If you prefer to think in per paycheck percentages, the math is identical and simple. Each paycheck directs 50% to shared bills, 15% to shared goals, and 35% to the earner's personal spending account, while the proportional method determines who fills how much of the shared totals. Next, align due dates so money leaves only after it arrives. Due date alignment means moving bill due dates to land 2 or 3 days after payday to allow for bank processing and avoid accidental overdrafts. If you're paid on the 1st and 15th, aim to autopay clusters on the 3rd and the 18th. Call providers or use online portals to change due dates for rent, utilities, and subscriptions. Most offer one change per year, which is all you need. If you're paid weekly, batch fixed bills on the week that starts right after the first paycheck of the month. Groceries and fuel can stay as card spending from the shared bills account, but the total weekly target still comes from the same 50% bills pool. Now the simple transfer schedule that makes this run without manual effort. On each payday at 09 automatic transfers run in this order. First to shared bills for that pay period's share. Second, to shared goals for that pay period's share. Then the remainder lands in the earner's personal spending account. For a twice-monthly pay cycle with our 6,000 example, each payday moves half of the month's targets. That's $750 to shared bills per partner in the equal income case, or $1,050 from partner A, and $450 from partner B in the 70-30 case. plus half of each person's monthly goals and personal amounts. Because timing is everything, add one more line of defense. Turn on alerts for the shared bills account when its balance drops below the next bill cluster, or when any transaction exceeds your approval threshold, like 1% of combined monthly take-home or a flat 200. Use a 2-yes rule for new shared expenses above that threshold. If both partners say yes, the expense comes from shared bills or shared goals. If one person says no, it can still happen from that person's personal spending account without blame. Here is how to set it up in under an hour. Create or rename the 4 accounts. Set your direct deposits to land in each earner's personal spending account, and schedule 2 automatic outgoing transfers on payday, 1 to shared bills and 1 to shared goals, using the exact percentages you chose. List your fixed bills with amounts and preferred cluster dates. Request due date changes, so half of the bills pull on the first cluster and the rest on the second cluster, always 2 to 3 days after payday. If your bank allows it, schedule the shared bills account to reject payments above available balance. This forces problems to appear at your money date, not as an overdraft in the middle of the night. Irregular income needs one extra rule, so the system flexes rather than breaks. If income varies, use a rolling 3-month average to set percentage targets and keep 1 month of average bills sitting as a buffer in the shared bills account. If a given paycheck comes in below the rolling average by more than 20%, pause that pay period's goals transfer and only fund shared bills and minimum debt payments. If a paycheck lands above average, sweep the excess first to refill the bills buffer and then to shared goals. A common mistake is relying on manual transfers and good intentions. Manual means maybe, and maybe is how rent gets paid late while subscriptions renew on time. The correction is to remove choice at the moment of choice. Let the architecture make the decision when money lands, and reserve your energy for deciding goals, not moving cash. Once per month, hold a brief money date to confirm that automation is still aligned with reality. Review the next 30 days of due dates. Check that shared bills has at least the upcoming cluster covered, and adjust percentages by 1 or 2 points if expenses or incomes changed. This architecture works whether you run a joint, separate, or hybrid model. Joint couples can keep the personal spending accounts as equal but fun money lines inside the shared budget, while separate couples can maintain distinct banks and still fund shared bills and shared goals together on schedule. Because small frictions create big fights, use language that keeps you on the same team. Say, "Our system sends," instead of "you forgot." And let the calendar do most of the talking. If you want one place to start today, start with the first cluster. Move 3 to 5 of your biggest bills to pull 2 or 3 days after the next payday, and schedule the 2 transfers that will fund them automatically. Your distilled takeaway is simple. Money peace comes from design, not discipline. Split each paycheck by rule, route it to bills, goals, and personal accounts, and make every bill hit 2 to 3 days after payday. If this helped, like and subscribe.